food habits of America's leaders prove power doesn't always come with good taste. Some dine like kings, others like unsupervised college freshmen. Today, we're digging into the weird, wild, and wonderfully human eating habits of United States presidents. Because nothing says democracy like ketchup on everything, right? Sorry to interrupt, but if Donald Trump can eat fast food like it's a food group, you can feast on content by subscribing. Thanks. Donald Trump, well done steak with ketchup. Brand forward and unapologetic, Trump treated meals like campaign stops, fast, predictable, and photo ready. He favored McDonald's quarter pounders, KFC buckets on Air Force One, and a steady stream of Diet Cokes. He ordered steak cooked to oblivion, then covered it with ketchup and preferred chain food he believed was safer than unknown kitchens. Celebratory White House spreads looked like late-night drive-thru raids, and salad rarely made the podium unless it was a garnish. His logic was simple: familiar tastes, controlled risk, maximum optics. Staff planned around his routine so the food matched the show, consistent, branded, and ready for cameras. William Howard Taft, rich turtle soup. America's heaviest president ate like a friendly freight train. Breakfast could be steak, eggs, rolls, fruit, and coffee. Dinner leaned toward turtle soup, roast beef, oysters, and cream-heavy desserts. Doctors begged him to diet, but late-night snacks won the veto. His jovial attitude about size made him a walking appetite headline, and that custom bathtub became myth. Even during periodic calorie crackdowns, he treated food as fuel for tireless politicking and tireless charm. Taft's table was generous, old school, and unembarrassed by quantity. Gilded Age flavors served with courtly manners and a second helping. Ronald Reagan, jelly beans. The 1980s were sweet, and so was Reagan's desk. He kept jars of jelly beans everywhere. Symbol, snack, and icebreaker rolled into one. Otherwise, he aimed lighter. Chicken, salads, and California plates that looked good on camera. Mac and cheese appeared when nostalgia called, but Nancy's lean recipes ruled weekdays. Alcohol stayed modest. Mineral water and sparkling conversation did the heavy lifting. Jelly beans began as a campaign quit-smoking tactic and became candy diplomacy. A colorful calling card that softened rooms before policy ever did. In a media age, the optics were edible. Richard Nixon, cottage cheese with ketchup. Nixon's table mixed millionaire tastes with bachelor practicality. He loved meatloaf, liver, and simple suppers, but breakfast was the headliner. Cottage cheese crowned with ketchup, sometimes flanked by pineapple. Late nights meant saltines and strategy rather than cocktails and decadence. He kept alcohol mostly off stage. His eating mirrored his persona, controlled, repetitive, and oddly private, comfort food for a man who kept score. Even state dinners stayed restrained compared with Camelot's pageantry. When stress rose, the cottage cheese returned, a ritual as steady as his meticulous notes. Thomas Jefferson, macaroni and cheese. America's first serious foodie imported taste from Paris. He brought home a pasta machine, wine obsession, and menus stacked with French sauces, ice cream, and fried potatoes that previewed the nation's love affair with fries. Monticello's garden functioned like a living cookbook, bursting with beans, peas, okra, figs, and experimental varieties he logged like a scientist. Guests got multi-course feasts pairing Virginia produce with European finesse, proving diplomacy happens at the table. His baked macaroni and cheese, rich, buttery, and sauced, became an American classic, naturalized by a president who loved culinary citizenship. Lyndon B. Johnson, bean-free Texas chili. Barbecue was LBJ's foreign policy. At the Texas Ranch, he served ribs, chili, and cornbread to senators and heads of state under open skies, calling it hospitality with a handshake. He ditched booze for crates of Fresca after doctor's orders and kept breakfast hearty enough for filibusters. His chili con carne was doctrine, heavy on beef, light on beans, and hot enough to command attention. Staffers learned that smoky picnic tables could do what memos couldn't, close deals and cool tempers. With Johnson, the motorcade often led to mesquite. Barack Obama, family chili. Fitness met flavor in a White House powered by Michelle's Garden. Obama ate balanced plates, kept workouts regular, and still made room for indulgence. A signature chili, occasional burger runs, Hawaiian poke, and salted caramel ice cream. Coffee stayed modest, green tea filled the gaps, and date night pizza doubled as wholesome propaganda. His menus looked like policy, practical, modern, and broadly appealing. The family chili recipe played everywhere from tailgates to staff potlucks, signaling approachable leadership with a spoon and a smile. Bill Clinton veganized tacos. He arrived as the fast food president and left as a plant-based convert. Big Macs, fried chicken, and late-night fries gradually yielded to legumes, vegetables, and almond milk shakes after heart surgery. The shift was dramatic and public, turning his plate into a health narrative. He still loved Southern comfort, but cardiologists won more votes than diners. The makeover showed strategy. Enjoy the photo ops, then extend the warranty. Those vegan tacos, beans, salsa, crisp lettuce became the edible symbol of second chances. George W. Bush, the pretzel incident. Texas heat met pantry comfort. Bush loved brisket, breakfast yogurt, and granola, PB&J, and plenty of Tex-Mex. He avoided seafood, preferred cheeseburgers, and ate early like a rancher. The infamous pretzel fainting episode turned snack time into national news, and his self-deprecating remarks disarmed the punchline. White House movie nights brought stadium snacks, and salsa often outranked silverware. His table felt like a tailgate, friendly, predictable, and conversational. Franklin D. Roosevelt, hot dogs. FDR balanced patrician taste with populist stunts. He gave Britain's king a hot dog at Hyde Park and grinned through Eleanor's famously austere menus while enjoying better dishes privately. Turtle soup, grilled cheese, scrambled eggs, and stiff drinks paced marathon workdays. Food became message, American casualness, wartime thrift, and comfort under pressure. The royal hot dog moment wasn't a joke. It was soft power in a bun. Theodore Roosevelt, wild game roasts. Calories were ammunition for an unstoppable body. Teddy inhaled coffee, steak, and hard-boiled eggs before dawn. He prized wild game, bear, venison, possum, more trophy than trend, and he ate at cavalry speed. Meals were narrower than his interests. Food was fuel for boxing gloves, saddle leather, and reform lectures. Sit near him, lose your entree to momentum. His appetite made sense. A frontier president needed frontier plates. John F. Kennedy, New England clam chowder. Camelot ate clean. JFK often skipped breakfast, then chose soup, toast, fruit, and broiled chicken or lamb by night. New England clam chowder broke the discipline, and ice cream slipped past the gate now and then. Cocktails appeared at small gatherings, but restraint defined the plate. Kennedy's diet matched his image, sleek, minimalist, and camera-ready, and his regional favorite offered a whisper of home amid flashbulbs. George Washington, honey-soaked Hoecakes. Myth says wooden teeth, reality says soft, sweet staples. Washington adored Hoecakes, cornmeal pancakes drenched in honey, alongside tea, nuts, and plenty of fish from the Potomac. Ice cream arrived on silver trays when guests merited spectacle. Dining at Mount Vernon felt formal yet plain, a founder's practicality with occasional flourish. Dental pain kept textures gentle, but hospitality stayed firm, seasoned with local waters and farm butter. Abraham Lincoln, gingerbread men. War and worry shrank appetite. Lincoln ran on coffee, apples, and biscuits, often forgetting dinner altogether. When he slowed down, chicken fricassee and simple desserts like apple pie or gingerbread pulled him home. He drank sparingly, disliked fuss, and treated food as a necessity rather than a pleasure. Greatness doesn't require garnish. Sometimes it needs caffeine, fruit, and a quiet plate after midnight letters. Dwight D. Eisenhower, slow-simmered beef stew. The general relaxed by cooking. Ike's beef stew and vegetable soup were precision projects, simmered low and salted like a battle plan. After a heart attack, he traded steaks for broiled fish and garden produce, obeying doctors with military discipline. He published favorite recipes, inviting Americans into a methodical kitchen where patience made morale. In an anxious decade, those stews promised steady heat. Harry S. Truman, bacon and eggs at dawn. Truman believed a real breakfast won the day. Early walks ended with bacon, eggs, toast, fruit, and strong coffee. Never substitutes. Missouri comfort defined lunch and dinner. Ham, hominy, black-eyed peas, biscuits. He tipped staff, loathed waste, and mocked fancy names he couldn't pronounce. Straight talk guided politics and plates alike, and a clean breakfast plate felt like an oath. George H.W. Bush, broccoli ban. The most famous vegetable veto in presidential history. Bush banished broccoli from Air Force One and the White House, leaning instead on pork rinds, popcorn, and Tex-Mex comforts. Milk-anchored meals and sweets stayed limited. His palate read like a Little League concession stand backed by diplomatic credentials, reminding the country that even patricians keep petty dislikes. Jimmy Carter, grits, plain, and proud. Frugal, Southern, and garden-minded, Carter served cornbread, grits, and fried catfish while keeping waste near zero. Skim milk replaced cocktails, and Rosalind nudged menus toward lighter, sometimes meatless plates. Georgia peanuts appeared as snacks and pride points. State dinners could feature local wine over champagne, confusing protocol, but delighting agrarians. His food story was stewardship more than spectacle. Gerald Ford, butter pecan ice cream. Ford's kitchen persona was reassuringly normal. Pancake flips for photo ops, pot roast Sundays, and butter pecan ice cream when Congress behaved. He liked toast with English muffins, backyard grilling on the Truman balcony, and staff invited like neighbors. After Watergate, his table sold calm more than cuisine, comfort desserts, steady breakfast, and the sense that adults were back in charge. Ulysses S. Grant, steak for breakfast. The soldier's menu was direct fire, rare beef at breakfast, cucumbers on the side, and Worcestershire at the ready. He dismissed elaborate banquets, chain-smoked cigars that could outlast dessert, and sipped whiskey more as ritual than revelry. Campaign habits followed him into the executive mansion, where simple, sturdy plates matched a man allergic to frills and fond of winning. And there you have it. What's your favorite food? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.